touchy, especially not a fan of Diamond FM. Don't touch that radio set.
For the best of national, local, international news and sport, tune in to News Punch and Diamond 88.7 FM. News Punch, all about the news.
It's exactly 9 a.m. Good morning and thank you for joining us on this edition of News Punch and Diamond 88.7 FM in Loring, where we bring you the trending stories across the globe. My name is Mekamua Osigbodi. Here are the stories making waves across the world. In Nigeria, the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited (NNPCL) has welcomed the pronouncement of President Bola Tinubu on the removal of fuel subsidy. The president, in his inaugural address on Monday, has declared an end to the era of subsidy payments, saying the 2023 budget made no provision for fuel subsidy, so further payment was no longer justifiable. Responding in an emergency press conference at the NNPC Towers, Abuja, NNPCL told Nigerians that the move was in the best interest of the company. According to the GCEO of the company, Mele Kyari, the company has been spending a substantial amount of its profits on the subsidy of the product. Kyari, however, said there was no need for panic buying as few queues had been noticed in some area of the FCT. He noted that the company had enough product to supply the country for the next 30 days, adding that it was monitoring its supplies and distribution networks across the country. Still in Nigeria, the new governor of Plateau State, Caleb Mutfwang, has lamented the state of affairs under his predecessor, Simon Lalong, noting that he inherited a debt burden of 200 billion naira. Caleb, in his inaugural speech shortly after being sworn as the new governor, said he was ready to change the ugly situation of things and work for the good of the people. This was as he warned those behind the series of attacks and killings in the state to stop forthwith, as his new administration would not tolerate such wicked acts. And on the foreign scene, China has declined the U.S. invitation for a meeting in Singapore between Secretary of Defense Lloyd Austin and his Chinese counterpart Li Changfu, according to the Pentagon. Last week, White House spokesman John Kirby said there was discussion underway to initiate talks between Austin and his Chinese counterpart, who was named defense minister in March. The prospect of a meeting between them was being closely watched given heightened tensions in the region and the increasingly prickly relationship between Washington and Beijing over issues from Taiwan to trade and human rights. And in sport, following Nigeria's Flying Eagles' defeat to Brazil at the ongoing 2023 FIFA Under-20 World Cup, they have been concerned over their chances in the knockout stage. The Flying Eagles lost 2-0 against Brazil in their last Group D FIFA Under-20 World Cup fixture in La Plata on Saturday night. The defeat against Brazil means the Flying Eagles dropped to the third position in Group D on goal difference. It was also the Flying Eagles' only loss in Group D after beating the Dominican Republic and Italy in their first two games. The Flying Eagles will play Argentina in the round of 16 due to commence on Tuesday. And that's all we have for you on this edition of News Punch. Up next is the Diamond Breakfast Show, where we bring you analysis of the stories. Do stay tuned.
The major talking point in Nigeria are always on the lips of the citizens.
What's going on in this country? Look at smaller countries taking lead and you call yourself giant of Africa. Yeah.
Nigeria don't spoil my business too much. Nigeria is too hard for us. I mean, I want to kill us. Father, not kill us for Nigeria. Oh, please, help us beg them.
They should reduce their expenditure so that they can free enough money for social development.
I wish for a Nigeria where we elect a leader based on competency and not popularity.
On the Diamond Breakfast Show, we place the spotlight report on the critical issues in the country.
Government that says they are broke can prioritize construction of an additional runway over education of the people.
How can a government, how can you hold Indomine? This is intolerable. It's provocative.
Now, you see, when you look at our democratic journey, we are yet to practice genuine democratic system in Nigeria.
Join us on Mondays to Friday on the DBS from 9 to 10 a.m. The Diamond Breakfast Show, amplifying the voice of the people.
From the studios of Diamond 88.7 FM in Lorry, this is the Diamond Breakfast Show.
And welcome to the Diamond Breakfast Show, a production of the News and Current Affairs Department. My name is Mekamua, Osigbodi, friends call me Mecca. And today, like we discussed them on the Diamond Breakfast Show, we analyze the topical issues going on in the country right now. And of course, I'm not alone today in the studio. To do this with me this morning is Mr. Adionla Adeyanju, a public affairs analyst and social commentator. Good morning, sir. It's great to have you in the studio today.
A perfect and fantastic morning. Good morning, my brother.
Amazing. I love your response there.
Thank you very much.
It shows that you're doing real well. Great to have you in the studio one more time, sir. All right, sir. Now, bear in mind that you also could be a part of the conversation today. All you need to do is follow us across social media and also watch us live on Facebook at Diamond 887 FM. On YouTube, it's Diamond FM Ilorin. Be sure to be a part of the conversation. Share the live feeds across your social media platforms. Also note that you could send in your contributions to the number 0913 655 6864. 0913 655 6864. At a later time during the course of the program, we'll be sure to open up the phone lines so you also could be a part of the conversation. Now let's get into the conversation this morning. Now, Mr. Adiola, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, like most political analysts predicted, gave an immediate impression yesterday. Now, many liked it, while some reacted immediately. Subsidy is gone. Now, let's listen to him.
Subsidy. Unfortunate. The budget that I glimpsed before I assumed office, and what I've heard is that no provision is there for fuel subsidy. The fuel subsidy is gone. Subsidy can no longer justify an ever increasing cost in the wake of dry resources. We shall instead be channeled whatever to fund.
And less than an hour later, he made the announcement that queues resumed in fuel stations. The first speech came with an immediate impression, and this is the first part of the speech that we intend to start our conversation with. It's a bold step, or is this too early an announcement? What position do you take on all of this?
Thank you, my brother. Yeah, we have written a new history in Nigeria yesterday, and it is no more a news that we are engaging in the Renew Hope agenda at present. So the issue of change agenda has become a past issues. And looking at Bola Ahmed Tinubu that came on board, if you look at his antecedents, I think he started in ADECO with them, and transform from the military era to this fourth republic that we are in now, his role singularly cannot be forgotten. And in order not to go too much on history, personally, if you look at this man, he combined a lot of things together as a politician. Because if you look at Chief Obafemi Awolowo, he is a political megalomaniac. But financially, he is not buoyant. And probably that is why he couldn't clinch the position. And looking at Chief MKO, late Chief MKO Abiola, he is financially okay. He's a capitalist. Everybody know him, just like the present Dangote. He tried to venture into politics. He never know much about Nigeria politics like Chief Obafemi Awolowo, but he's financially okay. Unlike Awolowo is not financially okay. But when Chief Bola started the system of political party and aspiration of becoming president, we should not forget his participation in formation of PDP. When he formed the PDP, he wrote the manifesto and everything. When he discovered that most of the people that are there are past military and we want to move from military to democracy, he left and make a formation of APP that transformed to APN later. And Chief Bola said that immediately he formed the APP, he discovered that most of the old politicians that engaged in the Second Republic were still coming to the APP. He left and make a formation of AD. In fact, some 3-4 days before the closure, he formed AD, and that is why probably AD became a regional politics. But if you look at Bola himself, he's very fast academically. He has a political knowledge, but he's not financially buoyant. But Tinubu, as a political wizard, combined the three together. He's financially okay. He has the political experience. And academically, you cannot rubbish him. He's there today, and he made his speech yesterday. Out of the speech, he pointed out 3 key areas. He talked of security, interest rate, and fuel subsidy. And going back to the issue of fuel subsidy before Nigeria now will be a tautology, because already we know what is fuel subsidy and we know the amount that is going on it. Immediately he made the announcement that what we have on ground doesn't encourage fuel subsidy, because if you look at it, sometimes past administration will even go with extra budget pleading before the legislators in order to cop in more money to support fuel subsidy. And this man came on board. He said it, Bola Tinubu, that whatever amount will have gone for fuel subsidy, let us engage it on a sustainable infrastructure, economic development, sustainable economic development, of which infrastructure is there, provision of job is there, and enhancing economic area that we assist the indigenous to harness their potential, putting up about millions of jobs. Everything has been consolidated, that those money that will go for subsidy, let us use it on this aspect, because to many Nigerians who understand the issue of fuel subsidy, most of the money that goes there, at the end of the day, we were made to believe that 6.6 million liters of PMS is what we consume in a day. And the landing cost used to be 315 naira, we ever said it. Out of this 315, Nigerian government, we had about 110 naira to hit, multiplied by, on daily basis, multiplied by 6.6 million. That's a huge amount of money. They will now do that for 30 days in a year. So they now look at it that even out of this subsidy, some part of the fuel will be taken off Nigeria as a bunkering. There is no way to checkmate all these people. And if you look at the last administration since 2015, they have been saying it that they want to mend our refinery in order not to refine crude oil outside. And luckily, the president, PNB, happened to be the Federal Petroleum Minister. Right. Within 8 years, they could not even mend one of the refinery. And to me, this man understands, PNB, that there are gimmicks, there are games going on there. Unless if you don't want to exist as a president, or you don't want to achieve anything before you concentrate all your effort on the issue of refinery because of the ball game that is ongoing. And I believe that is why this man strategically encouraged a private Dangote to come in, which is the private largest, I think, a single refinery we have in the world. So with this, we were made to believe that a Dangote will produce 650,000 barrels in a day. And in a single barrel, you have almost 159 liters. Now multiply that. It's more than what Nigeria will consume. But what Nigeria never understand, most of the populace, is that if oil subsidy is removed without Dangote, we are going to pay heavily on it. But immediately Dangote came on board, if the regulation now come in, we may not buy it at the rate of 200 and whatever we are buying it. But it will be lesser than a Dangote not be on ground and the regulation setting, because subsidy is something that we have to remove. But immediately he gave the speech, you see some stakeholders came on board that they were not properly informed, like the IPMAN and the labor union. Right. Already before now, the labor union have said it that the oil subsidies should be removed in order to get a better Nigeria. But they want a sense of belonging that the new president in his Renew Hope agenda should take them along, so that there will be a roundtable issue. It is not somebody is giving them a directive of what to do, but let it be our country, our agenda. Let's showcase everything together so that we have a sense of belonging. Probably that is why they came up that it is too early. But to me, I would have also said the pronouncement is extremely too early, because if you look at Abraham Adesanya, late Abraham Adesanya, in the Third Republic, aborted Third Republic, he said that Chief Obafemi Awolowo came up with free education, and everybody be a general benefactor of it. The likes of late Gani Fawemi, late Abiola, even Obasanjo, and so on. And it works. But in this new generation, we cannot embark on free education. If you want quality education, you have to pay for it. That is what the man said. And everybody kick against him because he's too outspoken. So Bola Tinubu will have just keep his agenda, not on that very day. He will have called all these stakeholders, since they have the same mindset, in order to carry out, because the issue of subsidy is something that needs to be removed if we need a perfect Nigeria. And it is now we even realize that oil subsidy, economic interest rate in order to boost economy, is a function of security. Before, we used to believe security activities is in one side and economic activities is another side. When the insecurity agenda came in Nigeria, we discovered that some farmers cannot go to the farm. It's a joint demand. And the essence of saying it is that whatever you want to do, you should not leave a particular segment. Tinubu is very wise. He is a man that can turn over things. But we should not forget, even the Lagos we are making reference to, he prepared ground for those that are coming. Not that he single-handedly did everything. If the like of Fasola refused to build on what Tinubu did, we wouldn't see a Lagos dream of today. Amazing. Because, please, before that, I just want people to know that the APC as a political party does not have, they only have political manifesto. They don't have an ideology. And that is why the change agenda is different from Renew. If it is an ideology, it's supposed to be the same thing from political party. Right. So when Tinubu now champion this cause, I know he can deliver, but he must have people beside him, because it is not the political party agenda, it is his own blueprint, which subcoming administration might not support. Even in the same political party, they might not support it. And that is why we are talking of political ideology, because if you look at Yaradua, he came with a 7-point agenda. In the same political party, when Jonathan got there, it's a transformation agenda. Without an ideology, we may not have a straightforward development in a country.
Right, amazing. Well, for clarity's sake, let's put certain things together. You feel like this announcement was too early?
To me, it is too early, but I still believe he will achieve his aim because he's a core politician. He will call these people. If Tinubu used to be the kind of Tinubu we know before, he will call them and he will explain things to them. The essence of coming out with this is to prepare Nigerians' mind, forgetting that Nigerian people are not those people of yesterday. Immediately he made the announcement, go to fuel station now. Throughout the federation, they've closed everything. Are you telling me they don't have fuel that they will sell to the public? Even when the NNPC boss were saying that they have PMS that will sustain Nigeria for almost 30 days, then what kind of system are we running? So it's a good policy, but the pronouncement is too early. It's supposed to call the stakeholder and let them have a sense of belonging, but I still believe he's going to do that.
All right. Now, Tinubu was particular about the funding, believing it could go into meaningful infrastructure investment. Is this a glaring truth that Nigerians are unaware of?
Actually, Nigeria is aware of it. But the situation is that Nigeria have had enough robust agenda without translating into reality. And in a situation where people keep on informing you about particular thing and the dream did not translate to naira and kobo, you get tired of it. We are tired of grammar in this country, and that is why we are appealing to Tinubu that whatever he wants to do, let us see the practical aspect of your action, not paperwork. Enough of paperwork. I believe he can do it, and I believe most of the money that will be conserved in it, according to what he said he's going to use it on infrastructure activities to build job, especially on IT, 1 million job. I know he can do it because he ever did it in Lagos. But Lagos, a state with 20 local government and about 33 area council, compare it with Nigeria of 36 states plus federal capital territory, 774 local government. Nigeria is bigger than Lagos, and you have variants of people. But why I still have it within me that he can still keep on with his agenda is that we have a president. Late Umaru Musa Yar'Adua put up his own 7-point agenda, and he came all the way as a Katsina governor. He came to Nigeria, and look at what happened in Niger Delta on his amnesty program. The system was embraced. So saying that it's coming from Lagos, Nigeria is bigger than Lagos. If you really have what it takes to build Nigeria, and you have the capable people within him, people with sincere mind, people that will not turn a national agenda to personal agenda, honestly, he will achieve something out of that money they want to conserve from a subsidy.
Now, just like you mentioned earlier, this announcement has not come into fruition yet. No meeting yet with the NNPC and other stakeholders. But what then is the reason for the massive queues at the filling stations?
That is the question for you and I. That is Nigeria for you. Because if you look at not NNPC alone that say they didn't, Tinubu didn't inform them. Even the IPMAN said that he never carried them along. And if you look at IPMA as an independent petroleum marketer, we normally embrace these people. We appreciate them for what they are doing because ordering of fuel is part of their job. They have a special task force that will determine ordering of fuel in order to curb scarcity of fuel. But that is one of their functions. But within yesterday, what have they been doing? Is it because Tinubu did not carry them along? That is why people now, lock up their filling station and they sell at whatever price. By the time I went through this morning around 6:37, none of them, they were there inside, they never opened. But now while coming to this place, I discovered that some of them open skeletally, and as a result of that, they will sell in whatever price. Selling this in whatever price means that those people that doesn't have fuel in their vehicle, whatever amount you have with you, you just have to whatever. And that is why now you see most of the family will suffer for this, because fuel determine a lot of things. So I think that blame should go to those people who have the fuel within them. And at the same time, if they sell it in whatever amount, according to what Mele Kyari said, if they want to buy another one, they buy it at a cheaper rate. And it is not their fault. It is the fault of the administration that have been coming on board. Because if the way Amana Obasanjo have started it with the mega station, if Yaradua did the same thing, we have additional mega station. Jonathan did his own. That is what I'm saying about political ideology. And Buhari now did his own mega station. And we have more than 15 mega stations in Ilorin alone. You still have in the suburb local government. Are you telling us that the independent marketer will determine most of these things? If they have a pipe from various NNPC stations into the ideal area, do you think the issue of truck that spoil most of our road will continue? So these people will behave the way they want because they have an opportunity to do it. That is my take on it.
This further makes me ask this question. Are we ripe for this phase yet? Owing to the rising economic challenges facing the country and the people as well, are we ready for this?
My dear brother, we don't have a particular time for good policy. If a policy is good, there's no time we cannot engage in it. It is everybody that will brace up because we have varieties and categories of people in this country. Some people are there now. They never believe that the end result will be on Nigeria, which they are inclusive. But because their own belief and aspiration is on another political party, let me put it that way, they will be saying that, yes, the Labour should fight them, the IPMA should fight them, and the end result will be on Nigeria. Enough of all this. We are ripe to take a good decision now. And the issue of subsidy, the amount that is coming on subsidy, Nigeria not having a refinery according to what the Labour union have said, is something that is extremely bad. As Dangote is on ground now, I will appeal to this present administration with his renewed hope. He should renew the refinery. At least he should give himself a target. Within 2 years, let one refinery work. Because the way he explained his activities now, those 3 points are key points that can turn over the country, especially on issue of security. If you can move around without anybody harassing you, kidnapping you, paying ransom, it will help our economy a lot. And he also talked on the subsidy. Look at the proceeds that will come out of the subsidy if they use it for something that is magnificent. This will assist our economy. If you look at Saudi Arabia, they are still part of traditional society in the world. They believe mainly on their oil, Saudi Arabia and Kuwait. And what happened to their standard of living as a result of their economy rate? They live as expected, and their GDP has already increased. They are one of those countries that is enjoying it in this world. So if we conserve whatever is coming out of this subsidy rationally, it will assist our GDP because the standard of living will be better for each of Nigeria. And that is why he said that he will engage those money, according to Tinubu, on infrastructural development, on health, on education. Look at what is happening on the health now. The health sector now, if you go there, majority of them, the non-health workers, are on strike. And going to the education sector, that one is in pipeline. A lot of money is being owed. Now, are you now expecting us with this economy, with our debt profile, you still expect us to pay subsidy, borrow money and pay subsidy? It means if this administration did not work perfectly to remove the subsidy, we will borrow money, part of it will go on subsidies, part of it will go on salary. At the end of the 4 years tenure, the remaining amount now will be used as a jumbo package for a political office holder. Then what development are we expecting in this country? None. So I believe he has taken the bold step, though it is too early. Notwithstanding, I appeal to him to call all these stakeholders, because you cannot do it alone. You have people. Administration is a comparative effort. You cannot do it alone. And not until you have those people who will make a rational comparison with you before you get a better administration.
So it's safe to say that this might be a way to curb the economic challenges that we face in the country.
Honestly, it's a good step to curb it, because now, look at the issue of our farmers going to farm. We have been seeing it before now that if you refuse to produce food for people, Fayose said something on food security, people thought maybe he's saying jargons. No, it is a global agenda that if you have a food security, your citizen will be able to have 3 square meals, food that are perfectly in nutrients, and they will not spend money on unnecessary things foreign food coming in. That one will have conserved your money in a way. So if the issue of security is being covered, I think people will be able to go to their farm.
Right.
And if the economy rate is perfectly okay, only the means of exchange will be good within ourselves, and this will increase our GDP. And the issue of fuel subsidy, I still repeat it. If we have our refinery on ground, because I only support his speech, not his action, because we have not gotten any action on it now.
Right.
And the minister have not come on board, because he told us immediately after the swearing in, he is going to give us about 3 key posts on his administration. But Faleke came out late yesterday night and said that within 60 days, yes, Constitution still allow it. But what we are expecting is whatever you say as a leader, please let it be portrayed with a solid action and transform everything to reality.
All right, thank you so much. Just in case you just joined us, this is the Diamond Breakfast Show on your shining Supreme station. Let's go pay the bills. When we get back, we'll take your reactions about our current president, President Bola Tinubu. Stay with us.
Keep in touch with us from any part of the world. Log on to our website, www.diamondfm.net, or download our app, Diamond FM, on Google Play Store or Apple Store.
Ara ríro kò sí mọ́, àwọn ká ti sá lọ, àrùnmọ́lẹ́gùn ẹ̀yìn dídùn làkúrẹ́ ìgbé, wọ́n ti lọ wá bí wọ́n sí. Kára o lè pé bàmù rẹ̀ àtúrà dáadáa.
Kòkó lára ọ̀tá le. Gbéra ńlẹ̀ kó dìde. Kára o lè pè ń bà. Àtúrà wọ̀, àtúrà pẹ̀sẹ̀, àtúrà dáadáa. Kẹ́gun tó kẹ́gun náà. Kára o yá gágá. Ara ń roni tẹ́lẹ̀ kò roni mọ́. Tẹ̀bá ti fi kára o lè pè ń bà rà. Lẹ́sẹ̀kẹsẹ̀ ló ń ṣiṣẹ́ wọnú eegun. Tó sì ń ṣe àtúntò rẹ̀. Òṣùbù yẹ̀kẹ́ fa párọ̀ tàbí fi ẹsẹ̀ dá. Fi kára o lè pè ń bà wọ̀. Káì! Ara rẹ̀ ó lè padà yakinlala. Action! Action! Ó jẹ́ àwọ̀ká àròmọ̀lẹ́gun. Làkúègbé ara ríro tàbí ẹ̀yìn dídùn. Kára o lè pè ń bà lọ́kọ̀ gbogbo wọn. Agbára pọ̀. Kára o lè pè ń bà. Tuyi Pharmaceutical Industries Limited. Àwọn tó lórúkọ tó ṣe é gbẹ́kẹ̀lé níbi ká po oògùn òyìnbó ló ṣe é. Kára o lè pè ń bà. Ẹ̀rọ ṣẹ̀ṣẹ̀ pín ìrèpàtú òpèrè ta pàtà pọ́npọ́n. Kára o lè pè ń bà. Ó kì í síbẹ̀.
Kára o lè pè ń bà mú rẹ̀ àtúrà dáadáa.
The federal government, through the National Primary Healthcare Development Agency, announces the availability of COVID-19 and childhood vaccines nationwide. With the disturbing increase in reported cases of COVID-19 infections across Nigeria, protect yourself and loved ones from the harmful virus by getting vaccinated. Visit the nearest public or private health facility and mass vaccination sites today to receive the first, second, or booster doses of COVID-19 vaccines. COVID-19 vaccines are given to persons 18 years and above, including pregnant women and breastfeeding mothers, while childhood vaccines are given to children from birth to 5 years for protection against polio, hepatitis, yellow fever, measles, meningitis, and other vaccine-preventable diseases. All vaccines are free, safe, and effective. For inquiries, visit www.nphcda.gov.ng or call 0700-220-1122.
This message is brought to you by the National Primary Health Development Agency in collaboration with the Nigeria Red Cross Society with support from the Africa CDC SLL program.
Madam, see, even me myself, I'm trapped in this situation, looking for a better payment solution. My banking app is malfunctioning.
Now this could be you being chased around for due payments.
Oh Lord, why did I forget to pay this woman's money into the bank on Friday? Who did I offend? This woman won't let me rest. Now she's calling again. Hi.
Now it's obvious he's not using the GoMoney app. You see, friends, with GoMoney, you have access to the easiest banking experience. Start by opening an account in 3 minutes or less and enjoy amazing features like splitting bills or settling due payments with friends and colleagues. Send payment requests to clients, schedule future payments, create a virtual or physical debit card for subscription payments, and so much more. Simply download the GoMoney app from the App Store or Play Store to get started today. All from the comfort of your phone. No stress, no hassle.
Madam, you've received your payment now, Abby.
GoMoney, the bank you deserve.
Follow us on social media, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Diamond887FM. Diamond FM, shining supreme.
in the country. My name is Mekamua Osigbodi. Friends call me Meka. And I'm joined in the studio by Mr. Adeola Adeyanju, a public affairs analyst and social commentator. Once again, sir, it's great to have you in the studio.
Thank you, my brother.
All right. And we've been talking about the announcement by President Tinubu about the removal of subsidy. And it's time for us to get your reactions. 0913-655-6864 is the number to send a WhatsApp message to or SMS. And speaking of WhatsApp, we have a couple of messages here, so let's take those. This one says, "Good morning, presenter and the analyst in the studio. Does that mean Bola Tinubu just realized what subsidy is all about? Same Tinubu rubbished ex-president Jonathan when he tried removing subsidy years back. Is fuel subsidy no longer a scam? Even the media houses and analysts can't mention it that same Tinubu state protest asked Jonathan to resign, saying there's nothing like subsidy. Removing what you said doesn't exist is a bigger scam under Tinubu's 12 hours administration." Tony from Asadam.
That's fantastic. Well, when he got there and he realized what is happening, are we looking for a better Nigeria or going back to history, begin to make talk in another 4 years? So I think what we need now is a positive transformation. So Jonathan have tried his best, and Tinubu have said a lot in order to rubbish Jonathan, then bring in Buhari, and we all saw what happened within 8 years. So in order to make a positive transformation now, Tinubu have gotten there. He was not the president before. Let us believe that he never know the issue of subsidy is reality, but now he has gotten there, he saw it. So let us assist him to make a better Nigeria.
All right. Good morning. The attitude of oil marketers is a signal to the new president that he must be strategic. Our people are too greedy while we are punishing ourselves. Just imagine locking up the petrol stations by the marketer is an act of wickedness. They are used to holding Nigerian masses into ransom. The government must move fast to tackle a lot of problems, especially when it comes to masses' welfare. Thank you. Olatinwo from Airport. Someone says, "Good morning to you, my dear brother and the guest in the studio. It's a new dawn to Nigeria. Fuel subsidy removal is a good step in a good direction because I personally don't believe in fuel subsidy. And concerning Tinubu government, he will perform by his track record. We all know Buhari failed us because he rules us as a Fulani to his people alone, not as a president of Nigeria." David Williams, Fagbe, me. All right, that's his thoughts on this. Let's get to it. 0913-655-6952 or 08000-887-887 to call in and be a part of the conversation. Hello, good morning.
Hello, Wakama.
Good morning. Name and location.
This is Mr. Davis calling from South.
All right, good morning, Mr. Davis. Go on.
Yes, the guys in the house have said a lot. My only contribution is that the president has taken the right decision in the right way. If he has not done that, if after 1 week of calling him, that will protect in Nigeria. And that is the reason why I support his action. God bless Diamond FM.
All right, thank you so much, Mr. Davids. We hear you. Let's take another one. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning. Dr. Zil from Cherry School.
Good morning, Dr. Zil. Go on.
Yeah, what the president just did, the new president, is somebody, for me, I felt he knows that now he's already on seat, but he was also criticizing it. So for him to now say he's gone, I think it's a technical way of letting us know that they themselves have now realized that what they were blaming the other government for, they have now seen it that truly that government was right for removing it, wanted to remove it. So he has now removed it. So the earlier the better. We can't continue on this scam called subsidy. So his announcement is good. But Nigerian people, there should be discipline for petrol station owners. They should ensure that anybody who lock up a petrol station now should be punished for doing so. Because it's not enough to just say subsidy is gone. Let them also know that anybody who lock up a petrol station, the independent is ready for its discipline from government. That is what they should now do next. But saying it's gone, it's gone. We don't want it. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Zil. We hear you. Let's move on straight to the next topic for time's sake. Okay. Time is not on our side today. All right. Now, the president was never silent about the security of the country, like you mentioned earlier on. Okay. He raised a valid point on how this continues to affect our posterity.
Sure.
He had the same voice about this, just like subsidy that is gone. Let's hear him.
Security shall be top priority of our administration because neither prosperity nor justice can prevail amid insecurity and violence. To effectively tackle this, we shall reform both our security doctrine and its architecture. We shall invest more in our security personnel, and it means more than an increase in number. We shall provide better training, equipment, pay.
Now, this was one of the several challenges that the Goodluck Ebele Jonathan administration and the immediate past president Muhammadu Buhari's government failed to tackle. We had a general as a president, and many had hoped the issue would be addressed. Is security an issue of personality or deliberated resolution? Sorry.
Yep. You see, my brother, the issue of security in any nation, or let me domesticate everything to Nigeria now, security is a function of unity. Because within the last 8 years administration, we discovered that a kind of disunity is almost coming up as a result of insecurity. Because you had it is the Fulani people that were kidnapping, it is the herdsmen, it is the cattle rustler, the farmers could not go to. It is a function of unity and disunity. And at the same time, it is a function of food production that will determine your standard of living, your cost of living, and at the end of the day, the overall GDP of a nation. Putting all this together, if a general could not make it, we said it in this platform that I think PMB concentrated more on the military welfareism to fight insecurity, not looking at what necessitated the idea of insecurity. As this man came on board, let me, according to his own speech now, not his action, underline it. He said that he's going to create more jobs. And look at most of the graduates that completed their education, struggled to go to school. At the end of the day, they could not get a job that will fetch them 50,000 per month. What is 50,000 to the present economy? They could not even get it. And somebody now invited them to kidnapping. They said, no, because of my moral, because of my religion, I will not join. At the end of the day, you begin to, this set of people that say you should come and join kidnapping, where the one feeding you, clothing you, even at the end of the day, sending school fee to your, what do you call it, to your children, paying your children's school fee. You had 2 + 2 to make 4 elsewhere. So at the end of the day, if this present administration look at the issue of security, that it is as a result of poverty and unemployment, and it tackle those according to what he said, and you have the infrastructural activity going on, a solid one, not the one you do today and begin to patch tomorrow.
Right.
And this now include the people, the security activities is perfect, they could easily access their farm. Going to the farm now, they now have the rural-urban road that link together to bring their finished goods, especially the perishable one, to the urban market. You discover that the issue of insecurity will naturally fade out, because most of the kidnapping that took place in Southwest is as a result of insecurity, if you look at it very well. Though, if you look at the South and the Southeast, it may be as a result of unjust activities, political activity that took place. But if you can address this, it will also stop the issue of kidnapping there.
Speaking of which, I would like to chip this in. How would you want the approach to be? An immediate solution or a well-documented solution?
Yeah, I think we still go back to his blueprint. If you look at the blueprint of this renewal, I think about 82 pages. It's up to 100 and something pages, but 82 pages, you see many things there, the way you want to tackle it. But my fear is this. It should be immediate, though it is a long-run activities. But my fear is, number one, he must have people that are capable and sincere to run the administration with him. That is number one. Number two, every hand, I mean, when I say every hand, that is the rule and the ruler. we must all support him. We should all forget about what happened before the election, what happened even before PMB election. We should not make unnecessary reference, though it is good to know history in order for you to know how to forge forward. But let us pick the rational one that will help our nation. If we all support him, I mean the masses, we believe in him, just the way every masses supported PMB at the beginning of his administration. Then when Nigeria now support him, that is the Bola Tinubu, if Nigeria support him, he should make a quick reaction on whatever policy he wants to make, not too long run. Even if it is a long run plan, you can easily segment it within a short period, either quarterly, roll out the positive aspect of it that will be transformed into reality. A vivid example, if you look at this man in Osun State, Adeleke, even before the court case, he never appoints most of his cabinet, you understand. And if you look at the agenda he has rolled out on health, on insurance, on infrastructure, almost 31 what do you call local government in Osun State have benefited in the infrastructure activities. And even the what do you call it, the domesticate one of the federal government agenda that was passed in the legislature, and the one local government of Osun State, even before the court injunction, before the Supreme Court injunction. This is what we want from the present administration: a quick action on what he has said. If he cannot put in place refinery on ground now, it will enhance Dangote to begin quick production that will help Nigeria. And whatever production is coming from Nigeria, I think Nigeria government is having 20% of it. They should make it that Nigeria will benefit first, not the likes of Obasanjo's farm, who have a farm in Nigeria and the proceed is in the neighboring country enjoy the proceed. No, whatever Dangote is producing, Nigerian government should use their 20% power they have on it to let Nigeria benefit out of it. Though we know we are going to benefit in time of employment, but in time of PMS that will come up, I think the availability should be there.
Now, just before we move on to the final topic for today, let's see some of the messages that we have concerning this one. This one says, good morning to the presenter and the analyst. What is happening in Nigeria is beyond what an ordinary Nigerian can explain. Those that supported Buhari during the cashless policy, they later regretted it. Paper policy is not working in Nigeria. The problems of Nigeria is an accumulated problem that we cannot put all the blame on the current administration. Majority of every Nigerians will be blaming Tinubu only for the fuel subsidy. But before the president can implement any policy, all the state governors and the National Assembly will support the policy. How do we engage those politicians during the campaign? Is it no money that they give us after they have campaigned to us? Engineer Abdul Yasir Alubarika Lati from Offa Garage. Okay. Good morning to you in the house. On subsidy, Nigerians will always be Nigerians. Many statements were made yesterday by Mr. President. Take, for instance, health, education, security, in which he enumerated his strategies to tackle it. Also made statements on subsidy. But as for us in Nigeria with our norms, some cabals have started their gang up against the new government, making petrol quite difficult to access just yesterday. This is what successive government was facing. Let's forget about history. Subsidy is a scam. That's why we can't continue with it again. We have a new government. Let's support him for better Nigerians. From Abdul Wahid, that's their reaction. We cannot take calls for now because we have to dive straight into the next and final topic for today for time's sake. But bear in mind that you can still send your messages via WhatsApp or SMS to 0913-655-6864. We're also live on Facebook and YouTube. On YouTube is Diamond FM Lorry, and on Facebook is Diamond 887 FM. Feel free to drop a comment in the comment section. A chieftain of the All Progressive Congress APC, James Faleke, yesterday said President Bola Tinubu will unveil members of his cabinet within 60 days after his inauguration as Nigeria's president. The right-hand man of the former Lagos State governor stated this in an interview at the Eagle Square venue of the inauguration. Now, asked whether Nigerians should expect Tinubu to unveil his cabinet as soon as possible, Faleke said there is a high possibility that he will unveil his cabinet within 60 days as stipulated by the law. Now, many analysts had attributed the slow takeoff of the Muhammadu Buhari's administration to his late announcement of ministers. Buhari, who handed over to Tinubu after 8 years, unveiled his cabinet 6 months after his inauguration in 2015. How true is this, first up, before we go on?
Actually, I think a particular system has helped Tinubu now, different from what necessitated the delay in President Muhammadu Buhari appointment there. When President Muhammadu Buhari came on board, you know, there are a lot of people, various fusion from different political party, AC, APP, whatever. You don't know your friend, you don't know your enemy then. Everybody was just agitating and they want to satisfy everybody. But what led to the antecedent upcoming of Tinubu now, you discover that he has known those people who are for him and those who are even in the same APC. You know the kind of campaign that come up. So he has an opportunity to know his people now and appoint whomever he wants to appoint. And what I will appeal to him now is that he should just use his wealth of knowledge that cut across Nigeria, the geopolitical zone. He should unpick the reasonable people he knows within every political zone so that they will have a kind of a sense of belonging and transform the country into what we are expecting. Even if you look at his cabinet in Lagos State, you can see people across the federation, across geopolitical zone in Lagos. It can never happen anywhere in this country where you take a Yoruba man to be a commissioner in Hausa land, or an Hausa man will be a commissioner in Igbo. People will raise around that. What is not even enough for us, you are now bringing an outsider. But he has done that. He is excelling that. I will just appeal to him to put a quick action, since he knows the calibers of, because he told us one time that 60 days is even too much, that within 30 days he will give us the people he wanted. And I believe if he does that with capable people on ground, honestly, he will perform, he's going to excel. And I want him to be a listening person, a grassroots man. He should not be too busy with national policy or foreign policy. Not that he will not engage in foreign policy, but he should just take feedback from Nigeria, because whatever foreign policy you are doing, whatever you are doing at the national level, telling us you are not listening to local news, you are still formulating the policy for Nigeria inhabitants. Since it is we that need the policy, even if you have SSA or special advisor, just listen to feedback from Nigeria. He should not try to appraise himself, and he should not let the position go to his brain in such a way that, if you look at Nigeria system now, we ascribe whatever is coming from the top, the presidential position, to the president alone, not ascribing the person to the position so that he will be able to behave according to the limit of the office. And thank God for them. If Omar Agege have not gone for governorship race, you know, he would have been in Senate now, and he will be fighting for Senate president as well, just like what happened in the House of Rep between Gbajabi Amila and his deputy. Will have happened now between Lawan and Omar. But God has assisted him in a way. He should just make his permutation and combination to make what we need, appoint those people that will assist him. And after 3 months, you discover that Nigeria is murmuring about a particular person. Checkmate the person, put the person to the track. If you refuse, please just get somebody else.
In other words, let there be proper checks and balance for everyone in authority. Amazing. Now let's get the final rounds of reactions from you, the listeners. 091 3655 6952 or 080 887 887 to get a call in, or send a message via WhatsApp to 0913-655-6864. Morning to you, presenter, and our guest in the studio. I'm seriously angry now with the way people are saying subsidies is a scam. Are they not part of those who countered this policy when Jonathan introduced it? Let me be sincere with you. Removing subsidy will not solve anything in this country, because it's going to be some cabals that will be enjoying all the subsidy money. Are they not the ones enjoying the subsidy before? May God just save us in this country. Chief Fadipe Abola on Sunday from Yakuba. All right. 09136556864 for WhatsApp messages and, of course, text messages. This person says, under Shetima in Borno, a Yoruba man, Lanre Abaton from Kwara, was commissioner from Abdul Wahid. Okay, I'm guessing that's a reference.
Yes. I even remember while I was in, because Shetima himself said it in one of his speeches. Right. But how many of Yoruba people do you have?
Okay, let's take this call. Hello. Good morning. Name and location.
I'm Dr. Zil.
All right, Dr. Zil, in 30 seconds or less. Go on.
I want to say that and Shetima, I want to believe they want to correct a lot of wrongs that people may have about them, because they are not like the man that just led who want to make everything full and nice. This one, we want to make sure it's in one Nigeria. And I want us to understand that these people, they know that they come with the mantra, they need hope. They want to correct a lot of things from now, and that's what they are saying on point of the removal, which is turned up for them, for me. They concerning security, they should also see to it that they don't allow nepotism of appointments like the one that just left. They want to put the right people in the right place, that they want to follow better character in appointment and not partisan appointment. They want to make it across board and give them the money to sell, to pay the music. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much, Dr. Zio, for your contribution. Let's take one final call and wrap this up for today. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, name and location.
Bamidele calling from the reality.
Good morning, Mr. Bamdele. Go on.
You see, all the presidential candidates all agree that when they get there, they fuel subsidy. So there should be no question about that. We Nigerians should not take the bull by the hand. Let us accept it. There is no way. We will need to wait 20 years. It will still happen. So let us take it down and face it squarely. So when all the investors come in, it will go down value. Just like Boas is building in Akwa Ibom. You see go down. So when our exchange is strong, it will go down. That's my hope. And Nigerians should let us to make this country go forward. Politics is over. Campaign is over. It's governance now. Let's join hands and make this country great. That's my own contribution.
All right, thank you so much for your contribution. Well, that's the amount of reactions we can take for today. And on a final note, what are your thoughts?
Two things I want to say. I want to appeal to our leader. The way Amana we were telling them, for instance, we used to tell our governors immediately your tenure expires, stop employing people, don't create problem for incoming administration. Look at what happened in Abia State. A PDP man did not employ while he was going. A Labour man came within yesterday, he employed 5,000 people. They have he studied the policy on ground, or you want to please categories of people. We should just study the situation, not that we are telling you not to employ, but study the situation. And at the national level, Mr. Tinubu said inconsistency in the policy making of our last administration is what he want to perfect. Please, we need a quick action. May the Lord be with Nigeria.
All right, thank you so much, sir. That's the size of our package today on the Diamond Breakfast Show. It's a production of the News and Current Affairs Department. Now, I'll use the words of the final caller as a summary for today. Campaigns are over and governance is next. Let's put hands together to ensure that we have a very great country. Let's be patriotic. We're first Nigerians before any other thing. So let's do that together and make Nigeria a great country, no matter who you are supporting. While we wait for the verdict of the court concerning the petitions, let's put hands together to ensure that we have a great country. A big thank you to our guest, Mr. Adiola Adeoju, public affairs analyst and social commentator, for honoring our invitation. Really appreciate you, sir. My name is Mekamua Osigbodi. Friends call me Mecca. Right after now is the news in our native dialect, and after that is Eba Adasi with Ishola. Ensure to stay glued to your Shining Supreme station all day as we have the best of content just for you. Good morning.